This is the story of a girl who asked her vampire friends, Edward and Alice, who have been around for many centuries, to help her with her history project. Alice and Edward tell Bella the history and their pursuit of happiness throughout their many years of living.
Well, I can tell you everything you need to know because I'm old, but only with the help of Alice.
Okay.
Hey, Alice.
Hey, Bella. Start off in 1865 with my favorite start to the pursuit of happiness. In 1865, the Civil War ended, and yeah.
I can get it.
Oh.
Okay.
This started the Reconstruction period, and President Grant risked his presidency trying to protect the free slaves and the African Americans. President Grant put in three enforcement acts. The first one gave harsh punishment to anyone who got in the way of African Americans' right to vote. The second act placed congressmen under surveillance under federal law. The third one outlawed the members of the Klan, the KKK. Yeah.
From 1880 to the 1900s, the economy.
Go.
From 1880 to the 1900s, the economy began to grow. Cotton mills in the South went from 161 to 400, which gave more jobs to men, women, and children. Do you know in 1869 and 1899 the population grew by how many?
I think 3.
Yes. Big businesses were built and started to dominate, and the Transcontinental Railroad was built, giving more people jobs.
The economy started to take a turn for the better, and soon money began to grow, and they had more money and freshly started industries. The election of 1888 was between Grover Cleveland and Benjamin Harrison. Do you know who won?
I think Harrison won because he won the Harrison. Sorry.
The election of 1888 was between Grover Cleveland and Benjamin Harrison. Do you know who won?
I think Harrison and the Republicans defeated Cleveland and the Democrats. Even though Cleveland won the popular vote, Harrison won the electoral college's vote.
Right. That's it.
Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt was an influential leader and started to group together reforms. He helped a magazine that investigated unsafe working conditions and told stories about child labor laws, otherwise known as muckraking.
During this period, the religion aspects of the culture really grew a lot.
In the 1920s, the Klan came back into order and took over. Then what happened?
Government thought it would be a good idea to ban all alcoholic beverages, but it did not stop people from sneaking it in.
The National American Women's Suffrage Association made female activists picket signs in legislatures, target and punish politicians who failed to endorse suffrage. They chained themselves to public buildings and made the police arrest them, and they underwent hunger strikes. That's a lot of things about women.
Also during this time, Albert Einstein became recognized.
President Harding came into power with the promise to the people of the return to normalcy policy. His presidency was not happy at all, though. He had to deal with trouble with his attorney general, who was said to have dealt with the thing. President Harding came into power with the promise to the people of the return to normalcy policy. His presidency was not at all happy. He had trouble dealing with his attorney general, who was said to have fraudulent findings of German assets that were gained after the war. Herbert Hoover was Secretary of Commerce and transformed the trifling Commerce Department into the government's most dynamic agency during the 1920s.
In 1932, the stock market crashed. Although it did not cause the Great Depression, it added major flaws to the economy. Hoover tried to recover the nation, but failed doing so.
Now, everyone can go to school together and everyone can vote, including women.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for sharing your view of happiness and history to me.
No problem, Bella. Anytime that you need a history lesson, Edward and I would be happy to help you.
Yes.
See you around!
Edward and Alice told Bella all of her 7 chapters of her history. They showed her everything that they went through in their lives. Nowadays, every race and gender can vote and go to school. Men and women have the same rights and can hold the same jobs. Also, men and women of different races can get married without any type of persecution. The economy has dropped and grown periodically through time, which affects how we handle our money now. Also today, banks have the FDIC that ensures the safety of people's money, up to $250,000 in case of a stock market crash, so people don't have to fear about their money. Edward and Alice have lived through many centuries and have voted this one now their favorite because of our culture, society, and equality.